You are watching ACC Network Extra. Welcome to Watsco Center on the campus of the University of Miami in Coral Gables, Florida for Miami basketball. Today, the Hurricanes host the midshipmen of the U.S. Naval Academy. Hello again, everyone. I'm Ted Sarandis alongside veteran analyst Josh Darrow. The Hurricanes face a Navy team that is full of confidence. They're coming off a 71-62 upset victory over ACC rival Pittsburgh on Friday night in the Veterans Classic. Senior guards Bryce Doolin and Sean Anderson combined for 33 points and 17 rebounds, Josh Darrow.
Yeah, they're a great duo. Ted, veteran, savvy. This moment won't be too big for them. You look at Anderson, he went for 15 points. He's the driver. He likes to put it on the floor. Bryce Doolin, a shooter, shot over 40% from long range. Miami will have to be careful and guard him out on the perimeter.
Josh, Miami had 5 players in double figures in a 77-45 victory over Gardner-Webb on Friday night here at home. But none played better than sophomore guard Bruce Brown, who recorded his second straight career double-double, Josh.
Absolutely. Look at him on the floor, seeing DeJuan Hewell roll to the basket, able to put it on the floor himself and create for himself off the glass. A big wing at 6'5", Bruce Brown. They say that's just Bruce doing Bruce.
The Miami head coach is the veteran Jim Larrañaga in his 7th season at UM, 140-69, his 34th season overall. And of course, he led George Mason to one of the great surprise runs in postseason history, the 2006 NCAA Final Four for George Mason. And the head coach for the Naval Academy is veteran Ed DeChellis in his 7th season at Navy, his 22nd year as a head coach. He was the former head coach at Penn State and a career record of 287 and 350. Navy 1-0 on the season. Miami is 1-0 on the season. And we get set for basketball here today. Josh Darrow, how about your keys to victory for both teams?
All right, we'll start off with the Naval Academy. They got to play lockdown D. It's what they're known for under DeChellis. They hold teams the last 2 years to an average of 60 points a game. They did that in their opening game in their win against Pitt. They need production from Anderson and Doolin. Those guys got to bring it every night, and they've got to hold their own on the interior. Now for Miami, this is a quick turnaround. They played Friday night. They've got to have high energy, high activity level offensively against what we expect to be a matchup zone from Navy. They've got to move the ball. They can't settle for long threes. They can't be happy playing isolation basketball. And then they've got to match Navy on the interior as well. They've got to get production again from Hewell and Azundu. But more importantly, they got to rebound the basketball.
Our officials assigned by the Atlantic Coast Conference, a veteran crew of Tim Nestor, Bert Smith, and Tim Clockerty. And our starters for the Naval Academy, Tom Lacey, Bryce Doolin, Evan Wick in the post, with Sean Anderson and Hassan Abdullah. And the Hurricanes will go with Anthony Lawrence, Bruce Brown, and DeJuan Hewell playing that 5 position with Jaquan Newton and DJ Vasiljevic. Second game of a doubleheader here again at the Watsco Center. Miami women, a huge victory earlier today against Vermont, and we're underway here at Coral Gables, Miami possession. This is Jaquan Newton. They trap out on him, give it for Lawrence. Now Bruce Brown where they want the ball. Spectacular ball game for Bruce in every phase on Friday night. Now Bruce underneath for Hewell. Stays with it, and it's 2-0 Miami.
Yeah, great look by Brown. Hewell rolled to the basket, even though he got the shot knocked away, able to stay with it and put it in.
Navy, veteran team, deliberate, and will look to go deep into the shot clock. This is Sean Anderson. Now bullet feed, Lacey, deflected loose, good hands, steals Jaquan Newton. Down court, Bruce Brown, and the block. Rejected there by Tom Lacey of Navy. Down court, Anderson speed dribble. 3 ball is no good by Hassan Abdullah. And Hewell clears the rebound. Here come the Kings. Bruce Brown takes it all the way in. And the follow is good by DeJuan Hewell. And no basket. Referee Tim Clockerty says basket interference, offensive goaltending. That brings Jim Larrañaga up off the bench.
Great split of the double team by Bruce Brown. I think that was Lacey who went with Brown to try and deflect the shot, and Hewell got called, though there was great activity and energy level chasing the ball at the rim.
Larrañaga is still talking to Tim Clougherty. I think Tim, with all due respect, may have missed one there. Wasn't an easy call to make, however. Navy possession with the shot clock at 15. Anderson on the drive. Now Hassan Abdullah. Abdullah the step back. Rebound cleared by Anthony Lawrence. Down court Newton now for Vasiljevic. He'll take the long three and hit it. DJ Vasiljevic, and right off the bat, Miami jumps to the quick lead.
Great shot fake by Vasiljevic. Abdullah flies by. Open shot. And DJ off to a much better start than Friday night when he struggled shooting the basketball.
Free ball will not drop for Doolin, and the rebound for Evan White. Anderson now for Lacey. Excellent defense there. DeJuan Huell. Here's Bruce Brown for the Hurricanes. Lawrence for Jaquan Newton. 2-3 matchup zone, Navy. Jaquan to the goal, and it's a 7-0 lead for Miami, taking the ball to the goal off the dribble.
And using their speed, using their athleticism, and Newton a tough matchup.
Lacey to the goal. Hurricanes controlling the defensive glass, and it'll be Miami basketball.
You got to like Huell here in the early going. He's been active on both ends, held his ground on the defensive end just a moment ago, getting involved, mixing it up on the interior, defensive and offensive rebounding.
Friday night for DeJuan Huell, Josh, 14 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, and a steal in just 18 very productive minutes. Bruce Brown for Jaquan Newton. Not a good pass, and it's deflected out of bounds there. Last touch by Hassan Abdullah. So the shot clock at 16. The game clock at 16:58. And Miami with a 7-0 lead, looking to build on it.
A little different than the start the other night for the Hurricanes.
No question about it. Again, Navy with that staple 2-3 matchup. They played it pretty much the whole game Friday night in their upset win over Pittsburgh. Vasiljevic for 3. Lacey clears the board. Down court for Abdullah. Abdullah, big energy guy, their point guard. Now for Bryce Doolin, the senior, one of the leaders on this Navy team. For Abdullah, now they get it into the post for Wick. Wick with the jump hook. Can't get it to roll. Rebound Anthony Lawrence. Lead down court for Jaquan Newton. Newton explodes into the lane. I wasn't sure if he wanted to shoot or pass, and here comes Anderson, and a foul on the floor on Jaquan Newton.
Not a great exchange of possessions there for Jaquan Newton. Has a tendency to be turnover prone. Was not that way Friday night, but last season the assist to turnovers, they were 1-to-1. That's not what you want from your point guard, and then a frustration foul there by the senior point guard.
First personal on Newton, first on the team, and we get our first look at George Kiernan. Wears number 21 for Navy, 6'7", 225-pound junior from Hinsdale Central High School, Hinsdale, Illinois. Last year averaged nearly 9 points and 3.5 per game, and Navy just can't get a friendly roll, but they get an offensive rebound this time, and here's Doolin. Doolin and Anderson are the guys that make this team go, and Anderson turned it over. Down court Vasiljevic. Nice play to get it back out deep. Newton directs some traffic. Now he'll take it off the bounce. Score the goal for Jaquan Newton, 9-0 Miami.
They'll pay back for that last possession. The initial defense by Navy was good. Doolin got back and prevented the transition D, but again, Newton off the bounce.
Lacey gets Navy on the board. Tom Lacey, the 6'7", 235-pound senior from Seton Hall Prep, Glen Ridge, New Jersey. Last year averaged nearly 8 points and nearly 8 rebounds a game. Good, solid front court player of the Patriot League. Here's Vasiljevic to the bucket, put it off the glass and in. So Miami shooting a very high percentage in this first half, leading 13-2. Abdullah called for traveling and our first timeout. It's Miami by 9. Stay with us. "14 minutes, 58 seconds left to play in this first half. It's Miami 11 and Navy 2. The Hurricanes shooting 5 of 8 from the floor. and Navy just 1 of 8. Ted Sarandis alongside Josh Darrow. And Josh, what are your early impressions?
I like the energy. I like the activity level. I like Miami's ability to drive the ball off the floor, and their defense has been sensational.
Foul on the floor will go against Navy. Go against Hassan Abdullah. First personal foul, first on the team. And how about Navy on Friday night in Annapolis, Josh Darrow? A win over an Atlantic Coast Conference team for the first time since 1971.
Well, you can do that when you have a veteran team. This is basically a group of juniors and seniors, and when you have that kind of experience, those games don't become too big.
Ebuka Izundu, who was huge on Friday night, scores on the interior. His first bucket has 2, and the Canes have an 11-point lead. Abdullah trapped. Not Doolin with the shot clock at 9. Underneath, trying to post up and getting the friendly roll off the glass is Evan Wick, the 6'8", 235-pound sophomore from Amarillo High School in Amarillo, Texas, and the quick hitter for Jaquan Newton.
Miami beating Navy down the floor. That was one of the keys. We talked about this matchup zone. One way to beat it, the defense, so Navy can't set their the defense by Miami allows them to run out, and Navy can't set their defense. Newton quick pushing the ball up the last time.
George Kiernan, a 6'7", 225-pound junior forward from Hinsdale, Illinois, can shoot the 3, and he just knocked one down, and Navy creeping back in 15-7. Lawrence underneath Izundu. Jaquan Newton pulls up and hits. Jaquan Newton for 3, and the Hurricanes lead 18-7 as we approach 13 minutes remaining in this first half. Cam Davis is in the game. Where's number 22? The drive by Kiernan won't go for Navy. Rebound Lawrence. Down court for Walker, and he sends it in with authority. Wow!
And that all started on the defensive end. Help side defense from 2 Hurricanes, Izundu and Bruce Brown. That led to the flush.
A steal and then a re-steal by Navy. 22 for Navy is Cam Davis, just checked in, 6'1", 185-pound freshman from Battlefield, Missouri. Another steal, this time Ebuka Izundu. For Lawrence, down court Brown. Navy turning the basketball over. Lawrence for 3. Deep rebound grabbed by Navy's Bryce Doolin. Hassan Abdullah on the ball for Kiernan. Now pass is deflected, intended for Cam Davis. Substitutions now for Navy. We have 3 players in off the bench. Ryan Pearson wears number 5. Norris Fox wears number 0. Navy has 19 players on their roster at Division I high because, of course, all their players are committed to 5 years as an officer in the United States Navy after they graduate. They receive, along with Army and Air Force, they receive a monthly payment for their services, so they are not really limited to any sort of roster in terms of numbers, and they dress sometimes at home as many as 22 players. Kind of interesting.
So I guess depth is not a concern.
And they also are one of the very few programs in the country, Josh Darrow, that has a JV program. They call it the Navy Developmental Program. So they are looking to really develop players. They have a lot of academic restrictions because they're such a terrific academic school. 3-pointer is good by George Kiernan, and Navy hanging around down by 10 with 11:35 to play in this half.
But Kiernan's giving them a boost off the bench,
no question,
with that 3-point shooting, and that's what he does. That's what the scouting report says. He's tall, but he's one of those stretch 4s.
Let's see how the Miami bench responds. And Izundu couldn't handle that bullet pass. So you're right, Josh. The bench has helped Navy here in this second stretch, and we get a timeout. Miami has a 10-point lead on a Sunday afternoon. 11 minutes, 21 seconds remaining in this first half. Ted Sarandis alongside veteran analyst Josh Darrow. Good to have you with us here at the Watsco Center on the campus of the University of Miami, where the Canes lead Navy by 10 as Anderson takes it to the goal. Now Kiernan, another three. Can't get that one to drop. And a battle for the rebound, won by Bruce Brown. Miami 9 of 14 shooting. Navy at 4 of 13. Vasiljevic out deep. Now Brown directs traffic. Chris Likes in the game, where's number 2 for the Canes. Canes playing 4 out and just 1 in. Essentially 4 guards. Vasiljevic for 3. Zundu, strong rebound, draws a foul on Kiernan on the interior. So the second Navy team foul. And the personal will go against Kiernan. That's his second. That's his first personal, second on the team. Lawrence back in the game for Miami. Bryce Doolin returns for Navy with a fresh shot clock, and Lonnie Walker will throw in. Zundu throws it away. Steal Norris Fox. Fox draws a blocking foul on Chris Likes.
Well, Zundu handling the ball on the out-of-bounds play out of the perimeter put him in a compromised position. Not his strength, and clearly it led to a turnover, and then Likes just couldn't get in position to draw the charge.
A near steal, he deflects it. Now Vasiljevic with the steal, quick hands. And draws a foul on Norris Fox. So Chris Likes made up for it on that possession.
Look at the hops on Chris Likes. He's 5'7". Look at him get off the floor. Tip it away. That's how you beat a matchup zone. You don't let him play matchup zone. You get out in transition off of turnovers.
Tremendous speed, quickness, and athleticism, Josh, with Chris Likes. I mean, he just is so explosive. And he made that steal happen, and Vasiljevic at the line. Free throw good.
Yeah, we talked in the open for Navy. One of the keys was going to be production from their 2 stars, Anderson and Doolin. And right now, they have been limited by Miami's defense. They're shut out.
They have not scored. And Vasiljevic connects at the line, has 6. And the Canes, their biggest lead at 12 with 10:25 remaining in this first half. Norris Fox on the ball, wears 0 for the midshipman. Now Doolin looking to get on the board, draws a foul with dribble penetration. Miami in the midst of a 9-3 run. And the Hurricanes' 3rd team foul will go against DJ Vasiljevic, his first player control foul. And Lacey has in the corner now for Norris Fox. Fox for Anderson, lost it. Scramble on the floor, loose, still loose. And a held ball, possession arrow in favor of Miami. No, in favor of Navy.
Again, quick hands, deflecting the ball away. Look at Anderson there, the freshman Walker able to knock it out. And then the tie-up and limiting the prowess of Navy on the offensive end. Miami's hands have been quick. They've been deflecting and knocking away balls. They've been tipping balls off the rim when it comes to trying to rebound, because we know Navy can rebound the basketball very well. They out-rebounded Pitt the other night by 9. So we talked to the coaching staff for the Hurricanes before the game. They thought energy, right, just on a quick turnaround. It was less maybe about the scout and more about the kind of energy they brought today, and certainly in the first half on the defensive end, they brought it at a high level.
Josh, you know, you're right on target. You mentioned the importance of quick hands on defense. The first coach I can ever remember that charted deflections, a number of coaches do, was Rick Pitino years ago when he was at Boston University in the early 80s. And he was right on target. He says, if you get your hands on that loose ball, then there's an opportunity for a turnover. And the Hurricanes have been tremendous with deflections here in this first half, as Navy able to get a quick score on the interior, scored for Norris Fox. Now let's see how Miami can handle going against a set defense here in that 2-3 matchup zone.
See Miami trying to screen the top of the zone. You see Lawrence trying to free up Walker.
Vasiljevic will bring it back out, shot clock under 10. So Navy digging in on this possession. A long 3 by Vasiljevic is not the shot that Coach Larinaga would like, and the rebound Anderson. Speed dribble. Deflected out of bounds. It'll be Navy ball. Bruce Brown is back in, and he replaces Chris Likes. Dewan Huell back in, and he replaces Ibuka Izundu, and Jaquan Newton returns, replacing Lonnie Walker.
The other thing for Miami, their roster is relatively young with some new pieces. So Coach Larinaga, it's the second game. He's still figuring out rotations and personnel.
No question. And wanted to get with his starters because the second group for Navy had a bit of an advantage over the second group for Miami. Here's Kiernan for three. And Dewan Huell clears the board. Under 9 minutes to play in the first half, and Miami by 10. Jaquan Newton to the goal. Bruce Brown guarded there by Norris Fox. And Bruce Brown called for the charge.
I think it's a questionable call, but I think Bruce Brown set himself up. He was pounding and pounding the ball on the floor. You could tell he wanted to isolate his guy, dipped the shoulder a little bit, and I think that's why the official whistled him for the foul.
That's the fourth team foul, and the first on Bruce Brown. Norris Fox for Navy, now for Bryce Doolin. Doolin, along with Anderson. Miami's done a very good job of checking the two leading scorers. Now Norris Fox for three is in and out. The deep rebound grabbed there by Bruce Brown. Brown on the attack. He can take it strong to the goal and gets the roll off the glass for Bruce Brown.
That's where Miami's been most effective, in the open floor. In the half court, hasn't been quite as effective, but when Miami's been able to get out and run, that's why they've been able to push this lead into double figures and sustain it as well.
Doolin still can't get it to drop, and Vasiljevic clears for Brown. Down court DJ, he'll take another long three and hit it this time. DJ Vasiljevic, the long three, a 15-point Miami lead, their biggest, and Ed DeChellis wants a timeout. We'll be right back. Here at the Watsco Center, Miami 27. And Navy 12. 7 minutes, 46 seconds to play in this first half. Ted Sarandis alongside Josh Darrow. Josh, Miami 11 of 18 shooting, led by DJ Vasiljevic with 10 points. And Navy 5 of 17 under 30% shooting.
You just saw that trail three in transition by Vasiljevic, able to get an open shot in transition as opposed to his previous three, which was contested and deep, but in the half court and rushed as well.
And the foul on DJ Vasiljevic, that's his second. So he will go to the bench, and Lonnie Walker back in. Anderson will throw in now for Norris Fox. Navy with a huge victory over ACC opponent Pittsburgh on Friday night to win the Veterans Classic. Step back pop Anderson won't go. He's still scoreless. Doolin is rejected there by Anthony Lawrence. Huell underneath. Score it in a foul. Dewan Huell converts a nice feed from Anthony Lawrence.
Huell just set himself up right below the basket. Had a misread by the Navy defense. You watch here as Lawrence kicks it in. You see Wick kind of was running out to the post, and that left Huell wide open in the middle. Nice show, two hands, catch, takes the foul, and finishes.
And the foul on Sean Anderson, first personal, and the fourth on the team. And Dewan Huell connects on the three-point play as 5 points. And Miami extends their biggest lead to 18 at 30-12 as we approach 7 minutes remaining in this first half. Doolin, the turnaround won't go. Miami has owned the defensive glass, and Huell clears. Bruce Brown drives. Stays with it. Draws a foul on the interior. So you take a look at the rebounding, Josh, and Miami out rebounding Navy by a count of 17-7. Is Evan Wick assessed with the personal foul. First on him, fifth on the team, and Bruce Brown at the line. But how about the Miami dominance on both back?
Well, I think part of that is Miami's defense. right? They've created havoc on the defensive end. You look at Navy, they are shooting 25% from the field. Miami's cleaning up those misses, and we've said this before, but we'll say it again because it's true. We talked about Navy's matchup zone. They are very good defensively. They limit the other team. They haven't been able to play much of it because Miami has been able to take the rebounds off the misses and push the ball up the floor. Navy has not been able to play many possessions in that zone D.
No, you're right on target, Josh. You really cannot set your defense up when you're running back to try to get a man. You have to be able to make shots in order to get your defense set. And that's really been a key factor. Navy has George Kiernan back in 21 and Cam Davis 22, and Navy throws it away again. Brown now for Walker. He'll take the three. And in the rebound action, we have a foul on the interior on Navy. That's the 6th Navy team foul.
You look at Walker, sitting top of the key, had a little bit of space. Walker's a really good shooter. And then Huell, that time in the weight room, able to hold his ground down there. He squats over 400 pounds. That strength was not there a year ago. That's why he was able to create the foul opportunity. Miami retains possession.
George Kiernan leaves with his 2nd personal foul, and Tyler Riemersma in the game for Navy. 6'8", 215-pound freshman from Bloomington, Minnesota, wears 41. Did not play Friday night in their win over Pittsburgh. Newton misses the runner. Huell battling for the rebound, comes up with it. Now Newton. And Navy comes up with the steal. Down court, Riemersma gets free and lays it in. Riemersma's first field goal. So Navy making Miami pay for that turnover.
Yeah, a little bit of frustration as Jaquan Newton walked by our table here courtside. Obviously, another turnover for the senior point guard, and just Navy beat Miami down the floor. That's rare. Navy's not going to push too much, but able to get an easy one, which they needed, as we talked about, struggling, trying to create offense.
Brown now for Newton. Shot clock under 10. Brown pulls up. Deep rebound, Bryce Doolin. Defense gets back. Abdullah for three. Hits it. Hassan Abdullah hits the three for Navy, and it's 31-17. So Navy has not played particularly well, but they're not going away. They're hanging in, down by 14. Miami's been loose with the ball the last couple of possessions. And now they get to set their 2-3 matchup off a made shot. A steal by Hassan Abdullah. Pulls up and hits. Jim Larinaga wants a timeout. So turnovers hurting the Hurricanes, and the Miami lead cut to 12. We'll be right back. We'll keep it here as it'll be a 30-second timeout with 4:53 remaining in this first half. 31-19. The Hurricanes of Miami with the lead, but costly turnovers. And that was one statistical element that jumped out at me, Josh Darrell, when I looked at Jaquan Newton's line from a year ago. 101 assists, 98 turnovers. If he cuts those turnovers down, he's going to have a terrific senior year. But Miami has been loose with the ball on the last 3 possessions, and it's hurt them.
Well, going back to those numbers for Newton, those numbers jumped off the page to me as well. You can't have your point guard at 1-to-1. That's a bad ratio, assist to turnovers, from the guy that's supposed to initiate offense. Now, Navy didn't have a lot of life, but they're starting to resurrect themselves. But that's in large part, as you said, 3 straight possessions, 3 straight turnovers, and Navy able to get down the floor before Miami sets their defense.
And now Navy extending with some 3/4 court pressure. A little bit of a different look here. Anthony Lawrence on the drive for Brown. Now Walker for 3. The rebound is Undu. Stays with it. Out of bounds. Last touch there by Miami. So I'm impressed with the resiliency of this Navy team. When it got to 18, it looked like they might be on the ropes. But they can cut it to 10 or 9 with a 3. Abdullah across the divisional line. Under 5 minutes to play here in this first half. Now for Riemersma. Catches and draws a foul on the interior. And this game happened, we should let the audience know, in large part because Adam Fisher, one of the assistants on the Miami team, is a Penn State grad and was on Ed DeChellis' staff years ago when he was the head coach at Penn State. So that's how these non-conference games happen. You see Adam there to the right, and Chris Caputo, the associate head coach, to the left of Jim Larinaga. That's how this game occurred. And Adam told me that not only is Ed DeChellis a terrific coach and a builder of programs, he said Ed DeChellis is one of the nicest people ever. And when we talked to him about the opportunity for a game, he jumped at the chance to bring his program to South Florida. So that's how this game occurred. And all of a sudden now Navy has cut an 18-point lead down to 10 after Riemersma makes a pair of free throws. And they again extend with that three-quarter court trap.
I'm sure that's going to help from DeChellis' standpoint to slow Miami down, right? They're not working into the half court with about 18 seconds on the shot clock.
You talked about how their defensive efficiency would increase, Josh, if they were able to make some shots, and that's exactly what's happened.
And they've made shots in part because Miami has been sloppy with the basketball. So it's really been Miami somewhat undoing and then Navy taking advantage.
And it's a 10-point game, and Sean Anderson and Bryce Doolin, their two leading scorers, haven't scored in the game. So if you're a Navy fan, you're thinking, wow, we're in a pretty good position right here as Lawrence makes the first free throw. That's the 7th Navy team foul. I thought Navy was in real trouble at 18, and then they cut it to 10. Lawrence misses here, and that was the one semi-down note on Friday night, Josh, as the Canes were just 10 of 21 from the free throw line, and they've struggled a little bit here at the line. Let's see if they can get it done on the defensive end, as Navy showing some real signs of life. It's an 11-point Miami lead. Anderson's still looking to get on the board. Now for Cam Davis, the step back. Anderson rebounds for Davis. Now for Anderson. Anderson trying to work against Lonnie Walker, senior against freshman. For Davis, out deep for Abdullah. Riemersma sets a screen. Abdullah will take it to the goal. Shot blocked there by Anthony Lawrence. Excellent defense. Down court Brown. Brown to the goal. Off the glass, no. And in the rebound action, we get a whistle and a foul. And we'll take a timeout. It's Miami by 11. It's Miami 32, Navy 21 here in the first half.
You see Bruce Brown driving in. I think that foul actually was off the ball. It was Wick going for the rebound, giving a little shoulder to Azundu and knocking him out of bounds. And so Miami were able to settle down at the free throw line.
Canes at the line are 5 of 7. Navy is 2 of 2. Miami shooting 12 of 26 from the floor, better than 46%. Azundu first one good. Navy 8 of 26, 30%. And their two leaders are 0 of 6 from the floor. Bryce Doolin 0 of 4, Sean Anderson 0 of 2, and neither one of them have scored. Azundu next one good. So it's a 13-point Miami lead. Navy did cut the 18-point margin down to 10, but it's back to 13 now as we approach 3 minutes to play in this first half. Riemersma now for Cam Davis. For Doolin, and we have a push-off foul on Navy. We'll go against Cam Davis, his first personal. Player control foul in the 9th on the team. So Miami will look to extend this 13-point lead as we go under 3 minutes to play here in the half. Azundu looking to post up. And hits. Nifty turnaround from Ibuka Azundu.
Loves that right shoulder, has really worked on his offensive game in the offseason, and Coach L has a lot of confidence in what this season can be in terms of Azundu being a post presence.
Anthony Lawrence, strong rebound. For Brown, the three-pointer. Deep rebound, Bryce Doolin. Miami by 15 with 2:20 to play here in the half. Hassan Abdullah for the midshipman. For Doolin, still looking to get on the board. Riemersma Lost it to Brown. Down court, Lawrence to the goal, laying up and in. Anthony Lawrence gives Miami a 17-point lead under 2 minutes to play in the half.
I think Lawrence saw Abdullah sitting down in the paint and said, I'm 6'7", he's 6 foot. I'm just attacking him and shooting over him.
Lawrence has been very effective defense and rebounding in this game. Lonnie Walker with the defensive rebound. Miami's advantage on the glass has really been a factor. Now Newton will pull up for 3. Deep rebound, grabbed by Azundu. Walker for 3 again, hits. Miami on a run now. They extend the lead to 20. 41-21 with 1:25 to play in the half.
You got to like the response, right? This game was trending towards Navy as they made their run and got it down to 10, but the Canes have responded.
And it's been with a combination of starters and the bench. 2 players off the bench, Azundu and Walker. 3-pointer good by Hassan Abdullah. So that snaps the Miami run. Abdullah with 5 points. 41-24, Miami in front. Under a minute to play in this first half. Newton called for stepping on the sideline. And substitutions for Navy. Ryan Pearson is in, a 6'2", 190-pound junior guard from Henrico High School, Richmond, Virginia. And also Norris Fox returns, 6'1", 205-pound senior guard from Memphis University School in Memphis, Tennessee. Fox averaged just under 2 points a game last year. And Pearson averaged 4 points and a rebound last year. Navy possession with the shot clock at 15, the game clock under 40. Pearson. Now Bryce Doolin. For Pearson, the long 3. Again, Anthony Lawrence with a rebound. Walker for 3. Doolin grabs the air ball. Down court, Norris Fox under 15 seconds to play in the half, the shot clock off. If he get it away, he does. It won't go. Ryan Pearson can't get it to drop, and that's the end of our first half of play. Our score at halftime is Miami 41 and Navy 24. We're back with our halftime program in just a moment. Stay with us.
Oh, and one! Stop me, man. You can't guard me, man.
Yeah, basketball is definitely getting bigger. All around town, there's somebody playing pickup and a bunch of kids in the gym here.
Yo, we cooking them bad, bro. Let's go.
Yes, we got a lot of talent starting to come to town, and University of Miami, we making noise on the court. It's getting everybody's attention.
Grab the water bottle and dunk it. Put the water bottle up there. I'm not putting it up there. You don't put it up there. No, I did it. I didn't put it up there. It don't matter. Either way it go, you gonna grab this better.
I look up to this guy. Watch. I love Bruce Brown. Look what he just... Oh.
I chose Miami because it felt like a family. City's been great. Every time I go home, actually, like I don't want to go home. I just want to stay here. The guys in the locker room, like I can talk to them. Like our personalities kind of connected in some way. They're funny, and I just like being around them.
Hold it.
Go, Bruce. Go, Bruce.
Yeah, you got a cheerleader. You got a cheerleader. Yeah, you got a cheerleader.
At halftime, it's Miami 41 and Navy 24. Ted Sarandis alongside Josh Darrow. And the Hurricanes being given a bit of a competitive ball game by Navy. They led by as many as 20, but Navy now trailing by 17 here at the half. And we're back with more in just a moment. At halftime, it's Miami 41 and Navy 24. Ted Sarandis alongside Josh Darrow at the Watsco Center on the campus of the University of Miami in beautiful Coral Gables, Florida. And Josh, really the story in this game is that Miami has been able to defend Navy, and on the other end, they've seen some spectacular bursts of offense. And I really believe that this has a chance to be a very competitive game in the second half, even though it's 17 at the break. I like what Miami has done in terms of defense and rebounding, but Navy's top two players have not been a factor, Anderson and Doolin, and yet this is still, I think, a game that Miami has to be concerned about. This game's not over.
Yeah, you look at the numbers right here. Look at Doolin and Anderson. They came in, 33 points in the win over Pitt, shut out 0 for 7. Miami's done a great job defensively on both of them, and as you alerted to earlier, I mean, Navy's shooting 27% in the first half, and that has really led to a lot of Miami's offensive output.
And then offensively, Miami has been able to make some threes. They made 4 threes in that first half. We take a look at the halftime box. What jumps out at you?
Well, I think the biggest thing that jumps out to me is all the way at the bottom there. You look at the rebound differential in favor of the Hurricanes. That's plus 11. So Miami's not only limiting Navy, their production on the offensive end, they're also limiting the second chance points. They're getting those those defensive rebounds, and that has leaked out to points in transition, where Miami also has a 10-point differential in their favor.
And points in the paint, Miami 20 and Navy 6. And also quick hands. You talked about the importance of deflections, Josh. Very, very astute assessment. Miami with 7 steals, and that's been a major factor, I think, in this game. Miami's ability to get their hands on a lot of loose balls.
Well, that's what led to the double-figure differential in the first half for Miami. Early on, they jumped out to that big lead, and they were sitting on it for the better half of the opening frame. Doolin and Anderson, as we noted, they've been shut out. And you look at Miami's defense inside. Look at Huell. Look at Lawrence. Look at Brown all around the basketball. Lonnie Walker, those quick hands, likes jumps on the ball. That created a change of possession, or I think Navy kept the possession after that. But once again, Lonnie Walker, you have guys like Brown and Walker at 6'4", 6'5", with long arms. You can deflect balls away. You can keep them in play. You get live ball runouts, and easy for Miami to score in transition, as the numbers and the stat box told us. But more importantly, in this game, because of how Navy likes to play defensively, they want to slow you down. They want to lull you to sleep with that matchup zone. But they haven't been able to sit in it for enough possessions because they have not been productive on the offensive end. And Miami, as we have said, has been very active with their hands creating turnovers.
No, I think you're right on target, Josh. And we spent the focus of our discussion at the top on the challenges of Miami facing the 2-3 matchup zone for Navy. And all Miami does is come out and hold a pretty good shooting Navy team to under 28% shooting. Navy just 9 of 33. Miami shot 15 of 32, and the Canes led by DJ Vasiljevic with 10. Jaquan Newton 9. Lawrence with 3. Brown with 3. DeJuan Huell 5.7 rebounds. 5 points for Lonnie Walker off the bench. 6 points, 3 rebounds for Ibuka Zundu, a total of 41. Navy led by Hassan Abdullah with 8. Tom Lacey with 2. Evan Wick with 2. Norris Fox with 2. And George Kiernan, a lift for Navy, with 6 off the bench. But Bryce Doolin and Sean Anderson, the 2 senior wings, a combined 0 for 7, no points, 7 rebounds. And for Navy to have a chance, those guys have got to go deep into double digits here in this second half, and we'll see what transpires. Both clubs back with their original starting lineups, and it's Miami possession to begin the second 20 minutes. Here's Jaquan Newton. And the steal for Evan Wick. Another deflection, but somehow Lacey gets free underneath. Good defense to force him to get the ball to Anderson. Anderson to the goal, and he's on the board. So Sean Anderson, first field goal, has 2. And the lead is 15 now. And let's see if that energizes Navy to start this half on the defensive end. You've talked about that nexus, Josh, between offense and defense. Long three is good by DJ Vasiljevic. So DJ, the long three, and it's an 18-point margin.
I'm not sure there's a shot beyond the arc that he doesn't like, but he's got a beautiful stroke.
Anderson takes it strong to the goal and can't get the roll this time. Down court, Canes with possession. Let's see if they can get the ball into the post here. Good perimeter passing. Trying to make that zone work. Ewell in the lane to the goal. Put it up and can't get the roll. Anderson clears the rebound for the Mids. Lacey on the attack. Steal there. Again, terrific hands by DeJuan Ewell. I don't know how he stayed in bounds, but he did. And Brown rewards him with the post pass, and he scores on the interior. What a sequence for DeJuan Ewell.
Great spin move. Baseline going to his right shoulder. Normally you think left shoulder with the little maybe right-handed hook goes away from that baseline, squeezes himself through there, and the bucket for Ewell. And once again, the Canes have blown this thing out to 20 points.
Lacey for Hassan Abdullah for three. It's in and out, and Lawrence clears the rebound. Speed dribble down court. Newton. Jaquan drives the lane and draws the foul on the floor on Navy. The goal gets Bryce Doolin.
We see how the start of this second half has mirrored the beginning of the game, right? Ewell makes a stop, gets the ball down in the lane. This time Miami again off a miss. Newton in the open floor in the offensive end, able to draw the foul on his penetration.
The importance of dribble penetration. Ewell now feeds Bruce Brown in the lane. Brown actually having a kind of a tough game offensively. And here comes Navy with Hassan Abdullah attacking the goal. A good job by DeJuan Ewell to deflect that ball out of bounds and prevent a transition opportunity. 25 on the shot clock. 17:40 to play in the basketball game. It's Miami, their biggest lead at 20. But Navy cut a 20-point lead down to 10 in the first half. So they're a resilient bunch. Here's Anderson all the way, lays it in. Anderson with two quick buckets here in the half, and it's obvious that the cellist, the head coach of Navy, told Anderson, you have got to get the ball and you've got to take some shots. You're our guy. We're not winning anything unless you take some shots and make them.
And he's working in the middle of the floor, beneath the free throw line, and attacking the basket.
Anthony Lawrence drains the triple from out front. Anthony Lawrence with 6 points, and the lead extends to 21. And Vasiljevic almost had a steal, but it'll be Navy ball with 22 on the shot clock.
You mentioned before Bruce Brown struggling, and he is one of 8 coming off, or 1 of 9 coming off the triple-double. But Miami has enough firepower to withstand that.
Very impressive that your main guy could be 1 of 8, and you've got a 21-point lead against a team that beat a team in your league on Friday night. A mid-major in Navy beat Pittsburgh from the ACC on Friday night. Anderson, tough shot. Thought he got fouled. Lacey able to get it in bounds, but a wild sequence. Miami had a hand on it, couldn't control it, and Lacey scores on the interior.
Go back, though, to when Anderson had the ball in the block. That was great post defense by Bruce Brown.
And speaking of defense, how about the job that Anthony Lawrence has done, Josh, on the defensive end? Defense and rebounding. He doesn't have tremendous numbers offensively, just 6 points. But I'm really impressed with the defense and rebounding of Anthony Lawrence in this game.
Yeah, Miami likes the matchup with him at the 4 in part because of his scoring ability. But today you can see his length, and today he is taking advantage and using his body and using it down below, using it near the rim and being very active, coming back and chasing rebounds.
Newton pulls up in the lane. Wick with the rebound for the midshipman. Down court, this is Norse Fox. Finds Doolin, who's still scoreless. Underneath Lacey. And a foul on the floor on Miami. That'll be the second team foul on the Hurricanes as we approach 16 minutes to play in the first. The foul on Anthony Lawrence, first personal, first on the team. 21 on the shot clock for the midshipman. Norris Fox has it out deep. Fox guarded there by Bruce Brown. A lob for Doolin. Doolin has to throw it out deep for Anderson. Anderson using a Lacey screen. Anderson lost it, got it back. Shot clock down to 4. Norris Fox will have to take the shot. And again, a rebound Lawrence. A lead down court. Huell, and he gets fouled. Excellent rebound and down court look by Anthony Lawrence, and the foul on Sean Anderson. It's Miami by 19. "15 minutes, 39 seconds to play in the contest. Miami by 19. And the question is, as we see these replays, Josh Darrow, is it a flagrant 1 or a flagrant 2 foul? Intent to injure, and I'm interested in how you see it.
Well, look, Fox.
So they call it a common foul on the floor.
I was sort of trending in that direction, but I'd always like the officials to confirm, in part because I don't think there was any intent there. He tried to make a play on the ball, hit him on the shoulder. I think it was just a good hard foul.
So how about the advent, and it's been obviously a number of years, Josh, how do you feel about replay? The referees now are going to go to the replay anytime that there's a foul where they think there was any opportunity for a flagrant 1 or a flagrant 2 or an intent to injure. I think use the technology to get the call right, but some fans complain that it lengthens the time of game. Where do you stand?
I like the use of technology. Certainly it clarifies a lot. My only thing is I feel like at times now the officials use that as an out. They lean on it too much, and more plays go to the replay monitors than maybe they should.
And at times it does lengthen the time of game. There's no question about it. But they got the call right. And we have a 20-point lead again, Miami, as Navy attacks the goal with Lacey, and he gets the friendly roll. So Lacey scores off the bounce, has 6 points. And Navy will not pack it in. Their guys are tough. They're disciplined. You're looking at all young men who will be future officers in either the United States Navy or the United States Marine Corps. So there will be no quit in this Navy team, even though Miami has outplayed them for the balance of this game. DJ will drive and miss, and the rebound is Doolin. Doolin still looking for his first points. Now Anderson, who's shown some signs of life. He has 2 buckets for 4 points in this second half. Looks to attack, shut off there. Now Norris Fox into the lane. Gets it underneath for Anderson, who cannot score underneath. Excellent interior defense. And I give all that credit there to Anthony Lawrence, who is a tremendous presence in the lane defensively.
And Miami has stayed attached to a lot of Navy offensive players, and they've also not only had active hands poking at the ball, but they've been contesting with high hands and making it hard for Navy to get clean looks.
No question about it. Their team defense has been outstanding in this game.
You notice there's almost 2 Miami defenders every time one of the Navy players has the ball, and as you said, great team defense. The help side defense has been outstanding.
Yeah, they have not been able to get a clean look, Josh, in terms of being able to shoot the basketball. That's why you see this propensity by Anderson and the rest of his mates to drive the ball, because every time that there's an opportunity on the perimeter, Miami has closed out. And the foul on DeJuan Huell will send Anderson to the line. So their only opportunity to score, as we've seen in this half, has been by driving the ball. I just think that it has been a tremendous Miami team defensive effort. Offensively, they certainly can play better. But this is a Navy team that is explosive, a Navy team that averaged almost 70 points a game last year and scored over 70 to beat Pittsburgh, albeit at home on Friday night. And Anderson makes a pair. He has 6. The game is 17, but you hold a team to 34 points with 14-15 to go in the ball game, and you're playing some tremendous defense. Navy is now just 13 of 42 for 31%.
Yeah, we've noted it the entire game, and you always notice Miami's 2 big players, Huell and Lawrence, have always been in position to help and take away dribble drive. And then the guards, like I said, knocking balls away, and then the rebounding has been outstanding.
And now you got Lonnie Walker penetrating in, an opportunity for a 3-point play. You talked about it, Josh. How about the fact that Bruce Brown is 1 of 9 from the floor, and Miami has a 52-34 lead?
Because of players like this, the most highly touted freshmen that come in to the University of Miami program, because of plays athleticism, the ability to hang in the air. He's 6'5", to shoot over the Navy defense. People are excited about Lonnie Walker. He comes from Philly. He comes from Reading, a basketball state, a basketball city, basketball area. And team him with Bruce Brown, and people are excited about what Miami can be offensively this season.
Walker converts the three-point play. He has 8 points off the bench. And Miami back to an 19-point lead.
The thing I like about Brown and Walker, too, most prospects when they come into a program, pretty much because of their ability to score the basketball in high school. But what you've noticed with Brown and Walker this afternoon, they can score, but they can pass and they can play defense.
There's no question about it. There's a selflessness to both of them, which is very impressive, and it bodes very well for this Miami team as we look to get into conference play in January. And Abuka Izundu gets a friendly role. Izundu now has a total of 8 points, and Miami back to tie their biggest lead at 21.
Just planted himself right in the middle of that Navy defense, and again, the left-handed hook over the right shoulder. He's got great length at 6'10".
Kiernan will take the three. Doolin with the rebound. Now we see Mo Lewis in the game. And the steal by Chris Lex. Hurricanes putting on a clinic defensively. Lex hits a three, and that's the biggest lead of the game for Miami. 58-34.
If Manny Diaz of the Hurricane football staff was watching, he'd put a turnover train on Chris Lex and Anthony Lawrence.
Lawrence with the steal, and he sends it in. And Miami has broken this game open with their team defense leading now 60-34. And Ed DeChellis wants a timeout. It's all Miami here in the second half. "12 minutes, 21 seconds to play in the basketball game. It's Miami 60 and Navy 34. The Hurricanes, their biggest lead of the contest. Miami shooting 22 of 45 for just under 49%. They've held Navy to 13 of 43 shooting, just over 30%. They've outscored the midshipmen in this half 19-10. Kiernan a long three. And it'll stay with Navy. And we'll get a timeout. It's Miami leading 60-34. Navy possession off the timeout, but the Hurricanes have a healthy 60-34 advantage. Anderson trying to use the screen, nothing there. Now from Mo Lewis, his dad is an outstanding linebacker with the New York Jets. Anderson drives and can't get the layup to drop. Jaquan Newton speed dribble the other way. Newton will bring it back out. Shot pocket 15. Izundu, high-low feed as they play two posts, and Ewell connects on the interior. DeJuan Ewell has 10 points. Navy gets the quick score on the interior. Hassan Abdullah. 62-36. Miami in control. Izundu scoring the foul. Josh, how about this look now? Miami, for a good portion of this game, has played 4 out, 1 in, and now they're playing 2 5-men at the same time. That is a lineup that's going to give a lot of opponents headaches.
Plus, they anchor them both basically at the free throw line on each elbow, and then Izundu rolls right to the basket, takes the foul, puts it in. That's on the flip side of Ewell doing the same thing the possession before.
Can't get the free throw to drop, but Izundu with 10 and Ewell with 10, and the 2 5-men have combined for 20 points and 11 rebounds. Anderson, bounce feed for Kiernan, scoring the foul.
Little weave series from Navy and then a backdoor cut.
Something they're prone to do. Let's take a look.
Yep, there's Anderson, and a nice backdoor cut on Huell. Zundu comes over too late, and that's a hard matchup for Huell getting out on Anderson, who's probably Navy's best player and is known for putting the ball on the floor.
Kiernan, though, has probably been Navy's most effective player, looking for his 9th point, all off the bench. Also has 3 rebounds. Abdullah leading Navy in scoring with 10 points. Sean Anderson has scored 6, all 6 of his points coming in the second half. And Bryce Doolin, the 6'4" senior guard, is scoreless. Referee Tim Nestor did ultimately allow the substitution. No, actually he did not. So I have to wait because the whistle should not have sounded in that sequence, and now they got to reset the shot clock, and they do. .10:32 to play in the ball game. Ted Sarandis alongside Josh Darrow. We're at the Watsco Center, home court of the University of Miami Hurricanes. And Miami leading 64-38. Huell has it. High-low feed. Big to big for Izundu. Puts it in off the glass. Ibuku Izundu has 12 points. 66-38. And the big-time block. Down-court Newton. Scored the foul for Jaquan Newton. So everything going Miami's way now here in this stretch.
A lot of that set up by Miami's defense. Again, a quick burst by the Hurricanes. You got a nice high-low sequence coming up on the previous series. You still had that horn series where Izundu rolled to the basket. Huell was left out top. He throws it over the top, and Izundu scores.
Newton, free throw good. So Jaquan Newton connects on the three-point play, has 12. Miami with 3 men in double figures. Newton with 12, Izundu with 12, and Huell with 10. Anderson for Kiernan. Kiernan off the bounce, draws a foul, he'll go to the line. That's the 4th Miami team foul. DeJuan Huell's 2nd personal foul, 4th on the team. Navy's committed 5 team fouls with 9:48 to play in the basketball game. And it's been 3 players off the bench, Josh, in this lineup. Just 2 starters, Jaquan Newton and DeJuan Huell. Chris Likes out there now. So the bench has helped the Hurricanes open up this big lead midway through the second half.
I think the thing you've got to be most happy if you're Coach Larrañaga is the versatility that you've gotten from your postmen to complement all that wing scoring in the last 2 games. Izundu and Huell won double figures opening night on Friday, and again in double figures here, and that post presence will come in handy, of course, when they get in the conference play.
No question about it. They can play a lot of different lineups and a lot of different looks. Now maybe really looking to attack out of that matchup. Shot clock at 8 as Likes wants to make a play. He pulls up. Air ball, and Anderson with the rebound. Down court, get it to Cam Davis. Can't get it to drop, and Izundu clears, and here comes Jaquan Newton. Speed dribble all the way. Puts it up and in for Jaquan Newton. 14 for Jaquan to lead all scorers, and it's a 30-point Miami lead. But again, what impresses me about Navy, they are not playing a good offensive game at all. Miami's dominated with their defense, and they throw it away there. But they have continued to play very, very hard. It's just been, I think, a talent and athleticism differential. And Navy does not have anywhere near the level of speed, quickness, or athleticism that the Miami Hurricanes have. And let's face it, no one in the Patriot League has the level of speed, quickness, or athleticism of any team in the ACC. And credit this Navy team for defeating a Pittsburgh team that I think may be better than people think when you get into league play. And they controlled that game on Friday night. But you play 2 games against ACC teams when you're a mid-major in the Patriot League, Josh, and it's just too much.
Yeah, plus, you travel down here, you play on Friday night, but we talked about it in the opening, right? The coaching staff for Miami, they wanted to know what kind of intensity would Miami play with here coming out of the bat, and they pretty much sustained it the whole way through.
Hassan Abdullah hits a 3. Abdullah now with 13 points for the midshipman.
And I bet if you're Coach Larrañaga, with this lead at this point in the game, you want to see, we just talked about intensity, execution, and effort. He will not want that to slip even though you're up by 27.
No question about it. It'll be very interesting to see how Miami finishes this game. Good defense there by Navy, forcing the turnover. Substitution, Bruce Brown is back in, and he'll replace Jaquan Newton. And how about this? Miami with a 71-44 lead, and Bruce Brown has really had a tough game offensively. He's just 1 out of 9, though he does have 6 rebounds and 6 assists. So Bruce is never a non-factor in the game. He's played defense. He's got 6 rebounds, 6 assists, but he has not had his normal offensive game, and Miami's got this big lead.
I think that speaks to him as a player.
No
right? What kind of player you're getting with him, that not only if he's having an off night, but that offensive struggle doesn't impact the other facets of his game.
No question about it. The reverse lay-in good there by Tom Lacey as Navy continues to play with a tremendous amount of energy, even though there's a gap on the skill side.
And by the way, if you're Miami, their strength a year ago was their defense, right? That was the question coming in. They felt good about their ability to score, but if they play with that defensive level in terms of just being their activity level that we've talked about, if they bring that, they should be in a good way.
Dewan Huell with 12 points. He grabs the rebound there. He's closing in on a double-double. That's his 9th rebound. Miami leading 73-46. Chris Likes attacks the goal. And the follow is good by Dewan Huell.
Chris Likes isn't afraid. We watched him in the exhibition. When you're 5'7", but you've got that kind of athletic ability, you know how to play at your size. And he is so quick off the bounce, and he can jump. He can elevate.
Likes has it stolen there by Ryan Pearson. Pearson pulls up. DJ Vasiljevic grabs the rebound. So it's Vasiljevic, Brown, Likes. Anthony Lawrence was wide open in the corner. They didn't see him. Bruce Brown and Dewan Huell. So now again, 4 out and 1 in. Brown with 10 in the shot clock. And the steal by Sean Anderson. Lacey gets the dunk. Lacey in double figures with 10. And it's a 25-point ball game under 6 minutes to play in the contest.
Well, Huell, Lawrence, and Vasiljevic, they did not get back on defense. And once the extra pass was made by Navy, there was no one left for Miami from a defensive point of view.
Brown wide open for 3. Can't get it to drop. It's been that kind of an afternoon offensively for Bruce. Reamer Smith grabs the rebound for Navy. Here's Hassan Abdullah, the 6-foot junior guard for Birmingham. And a turnover. Miami down court. Lawrence with the dunk.
Well, we just talked about Bruce Brown struggling offensively. Not on the other end. He swatted that shot that led to the run out.
Anthony Lawrence with 10. And we get a timeout. We'll take it. It's Miami by 25. Five minutes, 16 seconds remaining in the contest. It's Miami 75 and Navy 48. Ted Sarandis alongside Josh Darrow. We're at the Watsco Center. And Miami has outscored Navy 34-24 here in this second half. They're shooting 30 of 57, almost 53%. Conversely, holding Navy to 18 of 55, 33%. And 5 men in double figures for the Hurricanes, led by Dewan Huell, 14 points, 10 rebounds, a double-double. Anthony Lawrence, 10. DJ Vasiljevic, 13. Jaquan Newton, 14. And Ibuka Zundu, 12. And how about the Miami attack here, Josh, with 5 men in double figures?
Well balanced, and as we said, without really getting a lot from Bruce Brown. The other thing, too, you look at, again, at Miami's defense. You saw in that graphic, 10 assists only for Navy. when they move the ball and can distribute, and they get it up over 15, they're very successful. Miami wanted to really limit that number, and of course, we have talked and praised Miami's defensive effort all afternoon.
Mo Lewis got free on the inside for Navy. And Rodney Miller in the game, wearing number 14 for the Hurricanes. Jumper good. DJ Vasiljevic hits the three. He's the leading scorer in the game with 16. 80-50 Miami. Doolin, now Mo Lewis. He'll take the step back. Lonnie Walker with the rebound. Bruce Brown trying to use a Rodney Miller screen. Good to see Rodney Miller getting some run. And Miller gets fouled. He'll go to the line. Again, this you talked about the versatility, Josh, with 2 5-men. And the Hurricanes really with the luxury to have 3 5-men. As we see Bruce Brown, the ankle bothering him. But they're playing 2 posts again here with Miller and Izundu.
And look at Miller. It's an easy roll. Two guys attack Brown on the dribble. Navy's defense sinks down to the baseline, a huge sort of gap right in the middle of the lane. And again, you want to talk about Bruce Brown. Yes, he has not been efficient shooting the basketball, but that has not negated his court awareness, his defensive ability. We saw the huge block shot and getting other guys involved.
He still has 6 points, had 6 rebounds in this contest, and he's played very, very strong defense. Let's see how Miller does at the charity stripe. Free throw is in and out. Miller last year struggled at the line. He played just 15 games, 57 total minutes, shot 44%. Substitutions for Navy. Ryan Pearson back in wearing number 5. And we get our first look at Dominic Antonelli, wears number 15, a 6'1" junior guard, 190 pounds, out of Trinity High School, Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. Played in 3 games last year, averaged 2 points a game. 80-50 is our score, as Miller could not connect at the stripe. Also number 3, Matt Cullen is in, a 6'1", 180-pound sophomore guard for Navy from Greater Latrobe High School in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, wears number 3. And Danny Ojelly is in the game for Navy as well, wears number 34. Timeout. .356 to play in the contest. Miami 80 and Navy 50. Ted Sarandis alongside Josh Darrow here at the Watsco Center, University of Miami. Miller off the catch. He's out there with Walker, Vasiljevic, Likes, and Izundu. 2 5-men and 3 wings. Miller posts up. Nice move, couldn't get the shot to drop. And the rebound grabbed there by Tyler Riemersma. Navy emptying its bench. This is Matt Cullen, who did not play on Friday night, on the ball. Now for Mo Lewis. They give it for Dominic Antonelli. Riemersma in the lane for Mo Lewis. Lewis stops, trying to make a play, throws back out deep. Antonelli with the shot clock down for Cullen. DJ Vasiljevic grabs the rebound. Walker pulls up. And it'll be Navy basketball. Mike Robinson getting an opportunity to play the walk-on with 2:56 remaining. Robinson, a 5'10" junior, 170-pound walk-on from New Britain High School, New Britain, Connecticut. Miami shooting better than 53%, Navy at 33. It's been a spectacular defensive effort by the Miami Hurricanes. Jumper by Danny Ojeley is way off. Ojeley, the 6'7", 220-pound freshman from Chicago.
Lonnie Walker tries to kind of sneak in from behind and poke the ball away, not successful, and then chases back and contests the shot.
Chris Stoll is in, the senior walk-on, 6'6", 208-pound senior from Exeter High School and Exeter, New Hampshire. Out of bounds, it'll be Miami basketball with 2:38 to play in the contest, and Miami closing in on a 2-0 start to the young season. Next game against the Florida A&M Rattlers on Thursday night. Chris Likes hits a 3. 83-50 Miami. Chris Likes has 6 points off the bench. Couple of threes. Near steal by Lonnie Walker, so the shot clock at 17.
Miami is not stopping on the defensive end. You know, that's twice now Lonnie Walker on back-to-back possessions trying to make a play. Chris Likes intense ball pressure. So Miami has not packed it up yet.
No question about it. They've taken no prisoners on the defensive end. Reamersma, shot clock under 10. Cullen, does he get it off? To Ojale, does not get it off, and that's a shot clock violation. So the 2 walk-ons into the ball game for Miami. Mike Robinson in the backcourt, Chris Stoll up front, and there with Rodney Miller, Chris Likes, and Lonnie Walker. Miller looking to post up. The jump hook is good. That's a big-time move for Rodney Miller.
Had a favorable matchup. Lewis at 6'6", Miller 6'10", 6'11", and big body. You know, wide shoulders, stout down low.
Here's Danny Ojale, 6'7" freshman from Chicago. Reamersma with the runner will draw a foul, and he'll shoot 2 shots with 1:20 remaining. And Josh, we look ahead now to this schedule for the Canes. Florida A&M, a lower major program at home, and then LaSalle, a neutral site game. So Lonnie Walker's family can see him play in Pennsylvania. Then North Florida at home. The ACC Big Ten Challenge at Minnesota will certainly be a really difficult game. Princeton, a neutral site game, though it's going to be played at American Airlines Arena. And then Boston University at home before they head to Hawaii. I think the Canes, as the 3-pointer is good from the wing, I think the Canes are poised to get off to a tremendous start prior to conference play.
No doubt. And the Miami coaching staff, Coach Larinaga, always been kind of very analytical about how they put their schedule together, understanding what goes into tournament seeding. And so they give themselves enough level of competition to get themselves ready for the gauntlet that's ACC play.
And certainly the Hawaii tournament will be difficult. Davidson, New Mexico State, and either Akron or Middle Tennessee State, along with a road game at Hawaii to start that tournament. Underneath, Mo Lewis gets free and puts it in. So it's an 87-55 game, under 40 seconds to play in the contest.
You know, early in ACC play, Miami goes on the road 3 of the first 4.
Likes drives in and gets the roll. Likes has 8 points, and it's 89-55. Under 20 seconds left. Cullen drives in from Mo Lewis, and before the shot went in, we have a foul on the floor. Chris Likes' second personal foul. The 6th on the team. It'll send the Navy team to a baseline out of bounds because it's not a bonus situation. 14.7 seconds left. Ojale to inbound, deep for Matt Cullen. Antonelli the long shot. Loose on the floor, loose. Held ball situation, possession arrow to Navy with 3 seconds left. Step back, no good. The rebound, Chris Stoll. The ball game is over, and Miami wins it by a score of 89-55 over the midshipmen of Navy. Final thoughts, Josh Darrell.
I just think Miami set the tone from the early going. They jumped out to a big lead. They were locked down on defense. They did not allow the duo of Doolin and Anderson to get going. They had a very versatile statistical line in terms of scoring, with multiple players in double figures, plus from where they got their points on the interior and the exterior. They turned Navy over. And it was an all-around great effort, really from start to finish. One little push by Navy in the first half, but all in all, both ends of the floor, it was outstanding.
Leading scorers for Miami, DJ Vasiljevic with 16, Dewan Huell with 14, Lawrence with 10, Newton 14, Izundu 12, Walker 8, Likes 8, and Miller 4. And Navy led by Abdullah with 13 and Lacey with 10. Next game for the Hurricanes is Thursday, November 16th, when they host Florida A&M right here on the ACC Network Extra. Thanks to statistician Mary Ellen Manning and producer Drew Thomas and our entire crew for a great job. So for Josh Darrow, this is Ted Saranda saying so long from Coral Gables. The final score once again, Miami 89, Navy 55. To watch the entire game on replay, as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.